All right, we have arrived to one of my favorite towns around Lake Superior, Nipigon, Ontario. We're ice fishing. It is early March and we're gonna go after whitefish today. But before we get started, huge shout out to Auto Ice Express Lube in Kenwood, right in Duluth there, for getting our Chevy all ready to go. Fresh oil. We got oil for our snowmobiles. Stop in there for all your oil change needs. The first 10 people that stop in there and say you saw this on Superior Angling, we're gonna hook you up with a t-shirt. Stop in there, tell Pete hello, get your oil change. Great shop, great people. All right, so we're gonna go out here in hopes of catching whitefish, maybe a bonus steelhead, lake trout. You never know what can happen out here. We're on the very northern part of Lake Superior. There's islands, there's usually always ice right here, especially in February and March. It's more protected. It's kind of like a Schwamigan Bay type spot with the Apostle Islands, kind of hold that ice in there. Kind of the same situation up here. So a lot less angling pressure and in my mind, some better fishing, especially for whitefish. Whitefish get big up here. They put up a heck of a battle. That's our goal for today. Let's get out there and see what happens. Oh, fish, big fish. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Big fish, big fish.
Now that's a sweet October muskie.
Fish, 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 fish.
That's a big Atlantic, boys.
Not a bad ride at all, but behind me, all ice, good, solid ice. That's what I love about here. There's consistency every year, and the bite is a lot more consistent. Yes, you can catch whitefish down in Schwamigan Bay. However, the bite that's down there, you don't have that consistency. Up here, I feel like you get that. So that's why we love this area so much, and there's big whiteys up here too. So we're just gonna go out there. There's a nice little break out there that goes from 15 down to 60, 70 feet. We're gonna get right on that break. Typical whitefish spots, kind of the same that they are in at Lake Michigan. On those reefs out there, it's kind of the same thing here. They just cruise those sharp break lines. So let's get out there and get some holes drilled and lines in the water.
When we care about something, it shows. To help protect these things, call on the knowledge and experience of a local independent insurance agent that you know and trust. Some things we just can't afford to lose, and that is why we exist, because the worst brings out our best. Holden Insurance, Duluth and Superior.
Hey everybody, it's time to go ice fishing, and no place better to shop than Marine General. Ice tents, augers, fish finders and underwater cameras, rods and combos, boots, gloves, jackets and bibs. And the best prices anywhere. Marine General, London Road in Duluth.
Come on into Marine General and get outdoors with us. This winter, take charge on the ice with the Phantom Lures Budzo. Available in 3 sizes, ranging from 1/5 to 3/8 ounce. The Budzo is ideal for every fishing scenario. With its internal rattle and 12 vibrant fish-catching colors, this lure is sure to be your top bait on the ice. Ideal for big walleyes in the shallows, aggressive trout out deep, and slab-sized crappies in the basin. The Budzo is a proven fish-catching machine. Check them out online at phantomlures.com or in-store at Marine General in Duluth today.
This week's health tip is brought to you by St. Luke's, the patient above all else.
My name is Patty Urbanski. I'm a clinical dietitian and diabetes educator at St. Luke's Hospital, and I'm here with today's Health Minute tip for healthy living with diabetes. Living with a chronic condition like diabetes is hard work. It takes time and energy to do all the things that you need to do to stay healthy and take good control of your diabetes. What you eat and how physically active you are makes a huge difference in your diabetes management. A registered dietitian nutritionist can help you to figure out the best way to eat. In general, paying attention to how much carbohydrate you eat and trying to eat heart-healthy fats can make a big difference in your day-to-day glucose levels. Physical activity is also an important part, and your healthcare provider or diabetes educator can help you come up with a physical activity plan that helps you to better manage your diabetes. It's hard work, but it can be done, and diabetes educators and registered dietitian nutritionists can help you to do that.
That is a lot of ice, my goodness. Which is awesome to see, you know, solid ice. Yes, we're on Lake Superior. Yes, you may think it's been a very, very warm winter, but it's essentially kind of locked in here by islands out in front of us here. This is all Nipigon Bay. So coming, kind of driving northeast, you have Thunder Bay, then you have Black Bay, then you have Nipigon Bay. Black Bay is a little too shallow for whitefish. So, you know, Nipigon Bay here, it's deeper water, solid ice, and hopefully some good fish. I just grasped my first whitefish.
Yeah, big mark.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like I knew it was a whitey. There's fish. There we go. First whitey on the board. That feels good. Now, I just got done saying I grasped my first whitefish, and I'm going to show you what I meant by that because it's very, very important. This is a good one. It's very, very important because our graph is littered with fish, littered with marks. But you have to be able to know how to read your graph, read your LX7, and determine what is a fish that you're after and what's not. What's a game fish and what's not. And I'll show you what I meant by that. Let's just take a look at them. And that there is a beautiful Lake Superior whitefish on the back hook of that little jigging wrap. Look at that, guys. That is awesome. It took a little bit to get that first one, maybe about a half hour or so, but we just had to have patience. And sure enough, we got him. We're gonna keep this one for dinner because I love eating these. These are delicious fish. That's awesome. On the jigging wrap, but again, I'm gonna show you. On our Markham LX7 right now, it's just littered with fish, like from 20 feet down to the bottom. Like there's fish, they're all smelt. So, you know, if you're not accustomed to that, you'd be thinking maybe they're whitefish, maybe they're lake trout, whatever, but it's all just smelt. And right before you saw my hook set, I said I just grasped my first whitefish of the morning, and it's because I saw a mark right on bottom. It came up about 6 inches or a foot, and I can see that because of the chart view, the zoom on the chart on the LX7. It came up and then it went right back down. To me, that's a whitefish. Whitefish aren't gonna be suspended out here. They're a bottom fish. They love bottom contours. They're gonna be right next to the bottom. So he stuck his nose up. I saw him and I just dropped my jig back down to the bottom, was jigging a little bit, and 3-4 seconds later he hit. So you just got to learn how to read your graph. That's going to help you be successful. So, holy cow, that one's following me like crazy, man. That's an aggressive whitey. You got to go, buddy. Here we go, right here, right here. There he is, got him. I knew he was gonna go. He followed me up. That's an unusual whitefish. That one followed me up quite a ways off bottom, almost like a lake trout. And again, yes, 90-95% of your whiteys are gonna come right on bottom. However, every now and then you get a really active, aggressive one like this guy, and he came up and hit me well over 15 feet off bottom. That's a great sign to see. So you get some, we were marking a few that were a little more lethargic, and then all of a sudden you get an active, aggressive one come in. He's putting on the brakes now. Get our deucer out of there. That's a good sign. This could be a good one. Your Lake Superior whitefish get big. That's the fun part about them is, I mean, they put up a heck of a fight. And this is on the spoon hopper rod. It's a 36-inch medium light, which is perfect for this setup. This is a big fish. He's got a lot of weight on him. Really nice long fight on these whitefish, especially out of deeper water like this too. It's a good fish. I love whitefish though. It's just one of those species that you can come out here and put a bunch of them on the ice in the day, and they're excellent table fare. And they're usually not too impacted by changes in weather and what have you. You can usually put a couple on the ice throughout the day. This one's giving me a run for my money here. This is gonna be a good fish. Man, he took line. Make it or break it time right now. That's a big whitey, guys. That there is a big Lake Superior whitefish. Man, that feels good. That feels good. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And that's just on a jigging wrap with no bait. And my first one, again, my first one came on the back hook. This one came on the front hook. So I know a lot of you guys like to cut that front hook off your jigging wraps, but you know, whitefish, keep it on there, because I want to just caught that fish without it. That's a nice whitey. He put up a heck of a fight. That's a solid fish, big fish too, huh? Nice, I love it. That's a good start to the morning. 2 whitefish on the ice before 9 a.m. You can't go wrong there, huh? A little bit windy, overcast, whitefish conditions. Holy cow, this one following me like crazy. This one's nuts. It looks like a lake trout coming up. There he is. Nice. Yeah, buddy. That was an adrenaline rush there. He literally, on the markham, looked like a lake trout. And he hit me about, I don't know, 15 feet up. That's awesome. I love it. Look at him, just dump and drag back down to the bottom. These whitefish, man, are so much fun. It looks identical to a lake trout mark on the graph. I mean, it's just, woof. And that's 2 fish now that were suspended versus 1 on the bottom, which is uncharacteristic of these, but hey, I'll take it. It's more fun when you get them to be that aggressive and come up and absolutely throttle your bait. Like, that's like a lake trout hit. I love whitefish, man. They are so much fun. They put up a heck of a fight. and they're all like, I don't know, 2 to 4, 5 pounds. Like, look at this. I mean, whew. This spoon hopper CCI rod is absolutely ideal right now. Look at this thing. I mean, that's like a lake. Like, you'd think this was a lake trout, but it's not. It's a big whitey. I'm not taking it easy on this fish, guys. Like, we match our gear to, you know, the species of fish that we're fishing. And yes, if you're using heavy lake trout rods, you could have this fish up, I know, but this fish is putting the gear that I normally use for these whiteys to the test. This could be a big one. This could be a big one. Look at this tank. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness. Look at that whitefish. That is legitimately, I don't know, 3-pound whitey. I mean, that's big. Maybe 4. They're just fat too, just huge bellies on them. What a fight that is. I mean, that's the closest thing that mimics a lake trout fight without being a lake trout, is a big whitefish out here on Lake Superior. I mean, look at that. That's awesome. I love it. That is so much fun. So much fun. Ah, my hands are cold. We're gonna toss him on the ice because it's not every day we get to get out here and chase after these fish. So we're gonna bring home our limit and cook them up. Oh. Whitefish, one downside is they are slimy and a little bit stinky. I'm sure I'll smell like whitefish for the next couple of days once I get home. But I mean, this is just the presentation right here. It's a small, I don't even know what size that is, like a 1/4 ounce jigging Rap, straight mono. This is just 8-pound test mono. You don't need fancy, you don't need to get fancy. I gotta warm up my hands here for a second, but and then the spoon hopper CCI rod. So again, it's nothing too technical. Fish like that make your life very easy when they want to chase you halfway up the water column and just crack it, just like a lake trout. But when they do hit on bottom, it's a little bit more technical of a bite. But again, you just gotta keep at it, and you're gonna get some fish to come through that are active like that one, and some fish that come through that want to stay in bottom. So that's awesome. So I mean, you look out here, there is so much water, so much area to fish. You know, you could come here for the first time and be like, well, you know, great, you told us kind of what area you're in. Where do we start? I mean, yes, there's a lot of area, and yes, you could probably catch whitefish on most of the shoreline structure. You know, I'd kind of eliminate anything out here in the basin. It's just kind of too deep. There's really nothing that's going to hold those whitefish there. They like shallow water, they like breaks. So whether it's a rock break or a sand break, your whitefish always like a change in depth because they slide up, they slide down, and this is something for them to cruise around and find food on. So, you know, there's a lot of rivers that flow in here along the north shore of Lake Superior here. So, you know, you can position yourself adjacent to these rivers, you know, maybe pick up a bonus steelhead in March and April. But you just want to be on a shoreline break, or if there's a couple of reefs out there that you find on the breaks of those reefs, because whitefish like structure. They're just like a trout. They love structure. Oh geez, I got one coming. He's in. I got him. Oh, that's big. That's big. That's big. These fish are coming alive. This is like your peak time right now. Through like all of our TV shows, like I'd say like 80% of them, like 90% of your fish catches are within an hour, and that hour is right now. Like, it's complete and utter madness. We kind of had a break in the clouds, the sun's poking out, and these whitefish are going absolutely insane. That fish was like mad at this lure, and again, these are suspended. Like, this is a suspended whitefish bite. That's something you don't get on every day. I love this. Like, this is so much fun. If you guys have never fished whitefish, I mean, like, It's like 10 o'clock right now, and like you guys saw, we were out here early. We didn't catch a fish for at least half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. We didn't catch a fish, so you don't need, this is not a morning bite by any means. Oh, he's right at the hole here. There he is. Nice, that's a good one. Look at that whitey, guys. Look at that. I love it. It can't get any more fun. March magic. Whitefish, Lake Superior.
And now it's time for this week's Markham Moment, brought to you by Markham Technologies.
Here's today's tip. Where your power head connects to the bit, no matter what manufacturer or brand of auger you have, put a couple wraps of electrical tape around the bolt that connects those, because over time, whether you're going down the road in your truck, on the ice, going across the bumpy snow, these can rattle loose. Every brand does it. Put a couple of wraps of electrical tape. It's going to prevent that bolt from rattling loose, leaving you unable to drill a hole when you're out on the ice.
Now through March 29th, take advantage of rebates up to $3,000 on select Lund boats from RJ Sport & Cycle located in Duluth. We sell everything from fiberglass Thais and Pro Vs, perfect for the big water and space for the family, to tillers, side consoles, pontoons, and much more. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff is here to answer all your questions and to help get you into your next Lund boat. Visit us in-store or online at rjsportandcycle.com today.
Protect your investments this winter with an enclosed trailer from Whitefish Trailer Sales, located in Esco. We also sell cargo trailers, utility trailers, snowmobile trailers, and much more. Did you know we stock a full line of Heinecker snowplows? While you're here, shop the largest selection of Mahindra tractors in the area. Don't forget about our service center, ready to tackle jobs of any size. Whitefish Trailer Sales in Esco, where customers become friends.
Peak times of the day, as we saw this morning, these whitefish are going to chase you like a lake trout. They'll chase you up halfway up the water column and just pound it. You feel the hit, like they're aggressive. Non-peak times, you really want to focus in on your bottom bite. These fish are not going to chase you. They're not going to hit a bait up off bottom during non-peak periods of the day. So really what you want to focus on is just putting your jig on bottom. And if you watch my rod tip, I'm just barely moving that jig. And that jig is laying right on the bottom, and I'm probably picking it up 3/4 of the way and dropping it back down. And what that's doing is kicking up a bunch of silt down there. And these whitefish, they're literally just cruising. They're not like a walleye. They're not sitting on a piece of structure. They're putting on miles. They're constantly swimming around. They never really sit still. So they cruise around. They see that, the plume of, if you want to look at it like a plume of smoke, but the plume of silt and sand catches their eye a lot more so than your lure. So that grabs their attention. They come in to investigate. They see your lure down there, and they jump and they pin it right on bottom. So it's not a big jig stroke. I'm literally just trying to pick that lure up, just like the front half of that lure up, and put it back down. So I get sediment kicking up, and a whitefish is going to see that and come in and jump on it. So. Fish. It feels heavy. It's fun because whitefish are such a diverse fish. And by diverse, I mean they'll live in, you can be up in 5 or 10 feet of water catching them. You can be out in 60, 70 feet of water catching them. They're just spread out throughout the whole water column, just cruising around, just cruising the shorelines. And like walleyes or perch or pike or whatever, you need to be at a certain depth. It's not like that for whitefish. It's kind of like lake trout. You can catch lake trout up, in 5, 10, 15 feet of water in the wintertime, and you can catch them out in 100. Same thing for whiteys. So today, we just had the most luck or confidence in a little bit deeper. I enjoy fishing them out of a little bit deeper water too. You get a lot better fight out of them, but you could very well be set up in 10 feet of water sight fishing them too. It's just your kind of personal preference on whatever you want to do. My personal preference is to catch them out of 50 feet, because you get a heck of a fight out of them. Yeah, that's a nice one. Look at that. But we're kicking up that sediment and it's attracting these fish in and putting whiteys on the ice. Beautiful. Fish, that's insanity. That feels good. That feels good. This is a hole hop to a new hole and took a mere minute and a half to get bit by what I presume is a big whitefish. Man, that's, I don't know, there's really no huge need to run and gun for whitefish. Like, you know, walleye fishing, you'll fish this point, fish that point, jump around, or crappies, you're hole hopping, drilling a ton of holes. There's really no need for that for whitefish just because they move so much. But like all my fish today have pretty much come over the same hole, and I just moved out here and right away it was instant. So I must have just got lucky and just timed it right when the fish was swimming by. He saw my jig go down and ate. But I'm a huge advocate of straight mono line and a kind of a medium light rod, just because again these hooks are not going into the mouths of the fish, they're just getting hooked on the outsides. They have soft mouths, like there's not, you know, it's not like a walleye or a pike or anything like that. So I like some stretch in my line. I like a softer rod tip just to absorb when you do set the hook, and when they shake their heads and make runs, it's just all nice and soft all around, versus braided line, no stretch. You know, they're gonna jar the hooks out of them pretty easily. Look at that. That is awesome. But again, it's just on that back hook. Just that very back hook, that's all it was. That's not a bad whitey. Not a bad whitey at all. I love it. Look at that. How much fun. These are gonna taste even better when we get home. Cook them up. I loved a good baked whitefish. Delicious. All right, unfortunately, no closing fish to this episode. It has been a grind the last hour. I mean, I've fished hard, have dropped one about halfway up, but you know, one bite in the last hour is not very good. These whitefish have totally shut off, but you kind of get that towards the end of the day anyways. You know, I feel like whitefish, like peak time is that 9, 10, 11 a.m. time frame. You know, that's when, again, when we saw most of our activity today, and you know, I speak from experience on that too. It happens more often than it does not, but we are into the 5 o'clock hour now, and I think it is time to hit the road back south to Duluth. So we will reel up and load up and get on the road. But what a fun day we've had. Lots of whitefish. It's just fun to get out here this time of year and put forth the effort and to get after these beautiful whitefish that put up a heck of a fight and that taste delicious in the oven or on the grill at home. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.